Welcome, Underdog 38. How y'all doing, man?
Feeling blessed.
Could y'all hear the music, man? I've been trying to work on that a little bit.
I could
Yeah,
hear
you
it.
good.
All right. All right. Let's get right to it. Did you want to run through those quick hits first, or you want to do that at the end?
Nah, we'll talk about that real quick. I got it.
All right.
Pretty much, with it being a transition season, we got so much shit to talk about, bro. Almost all the sports going right now. So we got stuff we don't have time to talk for, but we're gonna make sure that y'all get it so that y'all know we still got our ears to the streets. We got our claws in these statistics. You know what I'm saying? The other day, Kylian Mbappe scores 5 goals in a French Cup match. Yeah, bro. Last week, number 6, when Gonzaga was number 6, they lost at home for the first time in 76 games. I think they've won since then, but yeah. Last week, also, Steven Stamkos of the Tampa Bay Lightning scores his 500th goal in a hat-trick game.
Wow.
Live Golf finally signs a deal with the CW, so Live Golf events are going to start being on, if I'm not mistaken, that used to be UPN, ain't it? Fucking CW?
Uh, I think that was WGN, if I'm not mistaken.
Either way, it ain't a major network, but we will be getting Live Golf events here in America.
It's good.
And unfortunately, Charlotte FC defenseman Aston Wilkes died in a boat collision. 25 years old, man. He suffered some injuries, ended up passing away. So, yeah.
Well, prayers to his family, man.
Yeah, most definitely, man. 25 years old and, playing professional soccer, you know what I'm saying? Probably living out his dream. And, you know what I mean? Stuff happens.
Wasn't there someone like a Dominican baseball pitcher last summer died in a boat accident, right?
You talk about Miami?
I can't remember.
If so, that's Jose Fernandez. That was a little while ago. But yeah, that's what our quick hits, and then we'll go ahead and start off the main pod. You heard on this pod, it was actually, I believe, a thumbnail on one of our videos, one of our highest view videos, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out that Ed Reed is not the coach at Bethune-Cookman. I think it might have just been an early release of information or maybe the catalog, but we'll go ahead and listen to Uncle Shay.
Yes.
Let us tell
to open their wallets.
Exactly.
Okay. So the point is, then even Ed throws out, Grambling wanted me. Okay. We get it. But Bethune needs you.
Right.
That was the point.
Right.
Bethune needed you, but you're going to start at stage 1. You're going to walk in there and it's going to look terrible.
Yes.
And I get you. You should have been able to clean out the coach's office, but it didn't seem like they even had a deal yet.
But the thing was, Skip, you don't have to put the institution on blast to get your office clean. Yeah. You could have gone to the administration. It says, I don't think that's too much to ask to have my office clean. My players shouldn't have to pick up trash. That's not, they're not custodians. We don't have a janitorial service. I just think that Skip, everybody wants to put everything on, so everything ain't meant to be aired in the public's eye. I understand that some things happen and they're caught by the public and it's on camera, but I just believe Ed and the institution could have handled this behind closed doors. And then whichever direction they chose to go in, it's behind closed doors.
Okay, even blasted the system there because Reggie Theus is the head basketball coach. I know Reggie from his days at UNLV.
I think it's the AD also.
But what I'm saying, that's what then Ed blasted. You can't have the head basketball coach be the AD. That's all you got. That's what it is.
All right, and just to touch on what I listened to most of this, they were basically saying he showed up, his office was dirty, things was just sloppy, and they hadn't even had him sign a contract yet, and his players that were forced to have to clean his office for him and pick up all the trash. So instead of going to the head of Bethune-Cookman and complaining behind closed doors, he did an Instagram live like, look at this shit. This is messed up. How am I showing up to the school and my office looks like trash? And shortly after that, since no contract was signed, they decided to part ways. In my opinion, I think Ed could have handled this better. If ultimately your goal is to go there and impact change, just like Dion overlooked a lot of things that, that went on. because he knew he had a goal to accomplish. And he knew these men would be following him or at least looking for his tutelage. I think Ed just took the easy way out. It's not okay what the school did. I'm not excusing it. But if you are really about making a difference in young men's lives, I think you look past that, have them handle it behind doors, and move on and coach that team because they needed you.
As a Florida resident, hey, y'all know I'm a Canes fan. Ed Reed's one of my favorite players ever, man. But if you didn't want to deal with trash, shouldn't have got a job in Daytona. Don't nobody come for me out here in Florida, but let's just call it what it is, man. Daytona is not, you know what I mean? You're going to HBCU. Bethune-Cookman ain't been to any kind of champion, you know what I'm saying? Any kind of athletic success that I remember. And not that you can't have standards. Obviously, men, coaches, players should have standards, but like you kind of know what you're getting into, man. I don't want to be like, I'm not saying he's Jim Belushi in the principal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that he should just tolerate anything. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Not that it seems petty, but it just doesn't seem like. And then I have a question. How were the players forced to do it?
Well, if you think about it, like when a superstar coach walks in like that, and you guys are present, and he's looking at his office.
Oh, they elected themselves to.
Yeah, so I don't think nobody like forced them. But they're
I
like,
was like, hold on, ain't you the coach?
They're like, nah, coach, we got it. We'll clean it up for you, man. Stuff like that. So he probably was looking at it like, man, my players shouldn't have to do this, man. They're not paid as it is.
Was this literally day one?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, okay. Maybe the lady missed the floor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like that's a whole reason to, like you said, that might have been the easy way out for him, man.
Yeah.
Because that seems weird.
I hear you, Bola, 100%. Like he should have handled it behind closed doors. But if Ed Reed was coming over to my house to do the pod, I'm checking everything. And if I had an organization, like I just don't know how they fumbled that. It's kind of sad for them.
But even if they fumble it, though, I think a man of his stature or man of his word, because these players are looking like, forget the organization and what they did. Think about the kids that you're going to be coaching and how they're going to feel the moment this contract is broken because you're going on the Instagram live.
You're gonna be like, damn, I cleaned up all this trash for nothing.
Right. And at the same time, they gonna be like, well, look how coach lost his cool. How can he? You know what I'm saying? If he did stay.
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's a bad reflection on all the HBCUs. Everyone was like, oh yeah, Dion did it. We're gonna take this step. And now it's like, now where are we at?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a bad reflection. I think every HBCU should look at this as an eye-opening moment.
Learn from Bethune's mistakes.
That reflection was the wrong word, but
yeah,
not a good image for this particular HBCU. Is there a ripple effect?
Right. I think any other HBCU, if they are afforded the opportunity for another star, player from the NFL to come coach there, I think they will make sure that everything is right before that person arrives. And I also heard that after this happened, a lot of the players, or not players, a lot of the students at the school, because Ed Reed went on social media, they now started complaining about having mold and mildew in their dorms and how terrible of a living condition it has been at that school. So he impacted some change, like that's inexcusable. They shouldn't be having students living in dorms that are, in other words, ratchet, So that's the only positive that I see from this.
I'm not going to say that there's like a hierarchy of HBCUs, but like, it's like, I don't want nobody to come for me, but like, come on, Bethune-Cookman isn't Howard. Bethune-Cookman isn't Morehouse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Now, if I'm Ed Reed and I go to Morehouse, you know what I'm saying? And the office is dirty, that's kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I'm going to Bethune-Cookman, Shaw, North Carolina A&T. Shit, even FAMU. Oh, okay, let's clean this up. Clearly, y'all even need help cleaning the office. I'm gonna make changes. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that probably wouldn't bother me, but I don't know. It's like you said, them kids, you literally got kids motivated. They so motivated to see you that they're electing themselves to pick up that trash and try to get you to stay. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50, man. Kind of 50-50 because I like Ed. I know he means well, but I also know he got a temper because he was a student advisor for Miami and he's not with us no more. You know what I mean? So.
And speaking of temper, Lakeland police officer caught on tape in violent arrest. I think I found the right clip. Correct me if it's not.
Yeah, that's it.
Video that shows a police officer punching a man during an arrest. News Channel 8's Annie Mapp is joining us live from the Lakeland Police Department with that story. And Annie, I know you spoke with the man who was struck by the officer, and you have more on this video.
Keith, good evening. His name is Antoine Glover, and it all started when he was pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt. He says that stop turned into a traumatizing experience.
And I was so scared.
A moment Antoine Glover says he will never forget. A Lakeland police officer punching him several times as he laid on the ground next to his car. Then that same officer going for a second round of punches while another officer aimed a taser at his face.
I could have been dead. I could have been George Floyd.
It's a scary thought for Glover, whose daughter had to witness the entire incident.
People will post all like police beating on people, but I ain't never like really felt it in person. But like when I felt it it really hurted me.
The affidavit for the arrest shows that Glover was originally pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt. But when police noticed a strong smell of marijuana, they asked him to step out of the car. Officers state in the affidavit that Glover resisted arrest and even placed an officer in a chokehold. He was taken to jail that night and faces 4 charges, which include battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, and marijuana possession over 20 grams. But he wants the officer who punched him to also be held accountable.
I just don't get it. Because the sergeant let it go on. He let it go on. He let it go on. This is all, it's uncalled for.
Lakeland police officials tell me they are unable to comment on this incident as an investigation is currently underway. We will continue to stay on top of this and provide updates on air and online. Reporting live in Polk County, Annie Mapp, 8 on your side.
Man, that's crazy, man.
Bro, I seen that when I was at work. I'm literally working. I look up. That's like 20-25 minutes from my crib, bro. Oh God. Like I you know what I'm saying? I don't go there often, but you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's go to this spot in Lakeland. That's not, that's not crazy to slide 20 minutes to a little spot or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Like, bro, that's wild. Like top mount. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I'm sorry, I thought it was decriminalized, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't assume somebody's a criminal just because they smoking weed no more.
I think some cops just say that so they can take you out the car.
I swear to, because like, come on, bro. That's not right. That's the stuff we were talking. Yeah, he could have been George Floyd. That's real shit.
That community, since they're down there, like, I'm not talking about all Lakeland, but is it predominantly black?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's more rural. A lot of lakefront property because there's a lot of lakes. You know what I'm saying? So it's actually a lot of lakefront. It's actually I'd say it's nicer than Tampa, to be honest. I know a lot of people that choose to live in Lakeland, you know what I mean, or other suburbs. But I don't know, bro. It was just like what? Like, y'all have the footage. It clearly, and I heard that he got transferred. Like, what? Or reassigned or whatever. Like, come on, bro.
And Florida, DeSantis just did that thing with canceling, was it African American Studies as a AP elective in high school?
Yeah.
And this is the scary thing to me. I'm sorry, Bo, I know it's a sport podcast, but scary thing to me is that when I go on TikTok, because he claims, oh, why in this class, do they, it also is preaching queer theory in the African American studies. And you said, and then I see all black people commenting, yeah, he's right. He's right. And I'm like, queer theory just gives you the shock, the word, like, yeah, I don't want them instilling gay thoughts in my kid. When you Google queer theory, it's the teaching of injustices to people. And it was like pioneer, it's like this ideology by this woman, but just that word, like that's how quick people run. And it's like, I don't know, bro. Like even black people getting behind DeSantis, who's like building stuff to oppress them, just took away African American studies, like ignoring the fact that that AP course is just this weird thing going on down there. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, man. There's no excuse for them to be on top of a man, punching him while they're tasing him.
That's not arresting anybody. Bro.
Inexcusable.
That's crazy.
It's inexcusable, man. There's no reason whatsoever. He could have ran you over. He could have evaded arrest. You don't need to be standing on top of him, punching him repeatedly in the head.
That's lawsuit. Hopefully he gets some money.
Like
And
that's
even
crazy.
if he had, I don't care if he had 1,000 pounds of marijuana in his trunk. You don't punch anybody in their face and claim it's because they were assaulting you.
They were resisting arrest. All right, cool. Like, what?
That's just some BS, man. It's 2023 and we're still having this conversation, man.
Restrain. Like, what part of striking somebody is restraint? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro.
When I see something like this, it just pisses me off, man. There's nothing, I mean, and it's like, you got to raise your kids in this world and tell them that if they get pulled over by the police, don't even move. Like, literally, when I get pulled over,
bro,
hands are right here. And I'm like, sir, can I reach for my wallet? It's in my right pocket behind, right back pocket. I'm reaching.
Bro, before they even get to the car, I throw my shit on the dash. So they can't even.
I don't even do that because they're like, oh, he just tossed this drugs. Or he just tossed something, a weapon.
Well, go find
I don't even, I stand like this. I put my hands there. Officer, is it okay for me to reach? Yes, go ahead. Okay, officer. I'm reaching behind my back now. And I'm about to grab my wallet. I'm moving slowly for your safety and mine. Can I pull the ID out? Like, because at the end of the day, I want to be able to come home to my family, man, when all this is said and done. And the worst part of all of this, y'all, his daughter was there witnessing. And these people did not care, not one iota, that there was a child present. You know how many times cops have fired into a car with a baby there? Anyway, let's keep moving, man.
It was crazy to me because like I'm at work, right? they just show that on the news. It seems so casual. It seems so normalized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
New norm. You know? When not the George Floyd, I forget the Ahmaud Arbery, I believe. Maybe I'm mixing up the names. There's been so many of them, but the neighbors saw him, he was walking through, they thought he was the thief, and they started chasing him down, hunting him down in broad daylight. Boy, running for his life. Like this world is insane. For you to think that your race is that superior to where you get to police and shoot people, or because you have a badge, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's just fucking insane to me, man. But I digress.
Like, I'm sure that not every cop in the world is corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be impossible. But at the same time, you got these bad apples, bro, in the bunch. And it's just like, most of them, once again, don't want nobody coming for me, but like there's a lot of high school dropouts, lower education, people didn't really have a lot of direction, and they just get all this power. And it don't make no sense. They get to come in the neighborhoods that they don't belong to, do whatever they want to. It's just, I don't know. It just seems really, like it's 2023.
Drew, help us keep a finger on that. That cop deserves to have assault charges.
Bro, we will be talking about this on this show because it's like I said, that's 25 minutes from my house. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, something so deliberately violent.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was it was a high-speed chase for 50 minutes and he's a serial killer. And you know what I'm saying? It's just he
'Cause
didn't have
all the
his
people in the
seatbelt
chat.
on. He didn't have his seatbelt on.
That's what I'm saying. You know, all the people in the chat like, don't commit a crime. How
What?
many times have you not wear a seatbelt? Come on, dude. Or maybe even had one on. We don't know if the cop made that shit up.
It's like I said, it was just really, it was shocking. So, but we could do a whole pod on that, but we'll go ahead and keep it pushing. Another arrest, but I bet you he didn't get punched, even though he probably deserves, because this is a real crime if he did it. Dani Alves, successful, legendary footballer for the country of Brazil, has been apprehended without bail, sexual assault charges.
It was rape. I looked into it.
It's it always baffles me, you know what I mean? I don't know if Darren Sharper just, took the cake and, everybody's trying to get their jollies off or whatever the hell's going on. But like men who have power, influence, money, fame, in my head, just what is going on out here, man?
I had the same question. I was gonna look. I'm like, oh, surely someone looked and made like a connection. Like there's a psychology between athletes and these sexual abuse cases. I feel like there's at least one a year, if not
At least.
multiple. And I didn't see anything, man. So if you get bored, you could write a book. But I think there's definitely a link, some weird link, which I would never get because, I get women now, poor, short, bald, and white. If I was rich, jacked, and famous in Brazil, I'm sure it'd be easier. But I hear you.
It's literally weird. Like we live in an era where like dating is just kind of like this gender war. And then you got the whole rhetoric about pills and stuff, red pill, purple pill, blue pill, the rise of the independent woman. It's like all this stuff going on. And it's just
I
like
didn't hear about the pills. I don't know. Have you heard about this, Bola?
it's basically it's a comparison to the Matrix. It's a reference to the Matrix. Basically, if you take the blue pill,
I know
you're okay. You know what I'm saying? You're okay with the programming and with how the government is moving and how everything's moving. If it's red, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to wake yourself up. It's like you're aware of it, but you cool with it. You're really not trying to, I mean, it's in the middle. But it's like I said, there's all this gender war and stuff going on the internet with dating, and it's just like as a male who could probably get not any girl, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're eligible. How do you resort to any type of debauchery? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get into any just general, you know what I mean? I just don't get it.
I mean, I don't understand it myself either. If what happened, because it's still alleged. So
Right.
I'm not gonna assume that he's
right.
Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. But if he did what they're accusing him of, that's just uncalled for. It's shameful. He deserves to rot in jail, in my opinion. Like you said, he needs to have more self-control. But there's also the other side of this where, because they said she reported it 2 days after. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying the facts of it's not been determined yet. If indeed she made this up because she found out that, oh, the person I slept with is a famous, soccer player, and I could possibly get some stuff from this. Because I'm not saying she did this in this situation, but there has been instances like that where it was consensual at first, then you find out who the person is, and now it's rape. You know what I'm saying? So if he did it, rot in jail. If he didn't, though, I know there's a lot of women who take advantage of men too, and I'll just leave that there. So
that's the sad reality of things.
You said what?
I said that's the sad reality of things.
Yeah, I mean, and those who make it up paint a bad apple when somebody is telling the truth. Like, hey, this person did this to me. I didn't know how to come out because he had so much fame and I knew nobody would believe me. Like I can see both sides of it. If he did this, he's a terrible person because with all the money you have, you're still resorting to having to rape somebody. Like that's just stupid. You know, if anything, get you an escort service, you know what I'm saying? And pay for whatever it is that you want to do, like, and have them sign non-disclosure agreements. Like, at least do this type of things for those type of situations. Don't rape a young woman.
Like for example, just to because I know you probably don't be on YouTube like that, Dane. For example, what Bola just said would be like a purple pilled view to it, right? Now, an extreme red pill view to it would be like Bola said, oh, well, why didn't you say this? Why didn't you say that? Is it just buyer's remorse? Like, you know what I'm saying? There are situations where women wake up and they're just like, it wasn't worth it. So now I'm going to say that X, Y, and Z happened. You know what I'm saying? It's always a case by case basis. But like, it's like Bola said, you got different situations going on. If his situation is like this, terrible, straight trash. Hope he doesn't make his second meal. You know what I mean? If it's not true, then it's crazy.
And the reality though, y'all, is the truth may never come out because it's gonna be his word versus her word. You know, and whoever is more convincing to the judge or jury, that's who's gonna end up winning the case.
And that's what makes it so crazy because 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with this kind of stuff too, you're also dealing with drugs and alcohol or substances.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So then it becomes the whole, okay, let's say we both messed up. You know what I'm saying? And let's say, oh, you don't feel comfortable. Let's say I'm drunk. I'm not sober enough to tell if, you know what I'm saying, if consent is 100% either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's such a crazy ass gray area when it comes to that stuff. And that's why dating is so tough. And you know what I'm saying? There are people out here who probably have a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And some of this is rightfully so, their fear. You know what I mean? Like people don't want to get involved in this stuff on either end. Girls don't want to be in these situations, guys don't want to be accused of these situations. You know what I mean? So like just in general, it's like all this kind of stuff, and especially because they are such big names, it's putting such a distance between people, I think. And it's very, very sad because, like you said, if that's true, wow.
And speaking of putting distance, to switch topics a little bit, Jake Garcia has transferred from Miami to Mizzou.
Yeah.
I know you put Jeff Garcia. I was like, Jeff, I had to look it up. So while we wait, I pulled up his little highlight tape because I had no idea who this guy is. I know you're probably familiar.
Yeah, I just knew him because he's on my team. Yeah, man.
It's the first time I'm watching this, so bear with the picture. This is his 1 minute 25-second highlight.
Who did this beat? Timberland? That pursuit angle was terrible.
So what do y'all think about that, man?
I don't know if he's in line to start. I don't really subscribe to any type of Mizzou stuff, so I just wouldn't know. He was decent, but he wasn't getting any playing time. Tyler Van Dyke is definitely our quarterback this year for the Hurricanes and probably moving forward. So, you know, good for him. It's like I said, I'm just a little ignorant to what Mizzou has in the quarterback room right now, but he's looked like he's got a decent arm. So maybe he'll get some tick. You never know.
I think this has happened before. Mizzou, they had that high-profile transfer from what was it, Virginia Tech or something, a few years back, and like Mizzou's in trouble in the SEC.
Oh boy.
So if this dude's not the next, I don't know who's been amazing in college football, the next Joe Burrow.
Well, Stetson is still there, right? He's not. Is he declaring this year? I'm talking about Georgia's quarterback. We'll go ahead.
He should be. He's like,
He should be
Her
done.
age.
Bro. He's Lamar Jackson's age. He should be done.
yeah.
Like, bro, he should be done, bro. Get out of here.
All right, continue, man. My bad.
So they need someone good to make a difference because they suck. That's my take.
Okay.
Who they playing the bowl this year?
And they lost to Wake Forest. I think
Sounds
it was.
about right. Miami's losing recruits all over the place.
Why is that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think Jeff left because he just wasn't getting no tick. But we just had Cormani McClain, the #1 cornerback in the country, who committed to us. He left us for Coach Prime, man. He's going to be going to Colorado. We've picked up another recruit. I think he was like the #7 recruit since then. I forgot his name. I just saw that today. But yeah, losing Cormani McClain was a big deal, man. I don't know if the Canes will ever get back right, man. But we trying out here.
Well,
He's amazing.
Speaking of picking up, Gold Standard Farms is a place to pick up if you need a little pick-me-up. They were founded in 1941 in Martin, Tennessee. They are a boutique hemp farm specializing in organic hemp cultivation, seed genetics, R&D, and eco-friendly hemp-based materials. For more information, what was that, Dani?
Promoting them a lot. I don't know if they've seen any customer increases. I think we deserve some samples. So Carson, I don't know.
For samples and all. Carson, Karson at goldstandardfarms.com. Email that, man.
Yeah. Speaking of Carson, I'm definitely not gonna be riding through Lakeland with my samples, but he's a Grizzlies fan. And
yes, he is. Yes, he is.
The Grizzlies is under a little stress right now.
So, well, first and foremost, with everything that happened, I want to say that I love Uncle Shay's apology. I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't remember if I sent it to y'all. But when speaking about somebody taking accountability for his action and apologizing for everything that took place at this game. From what I heard, and I'll just kind of run y'all through what it says here. It says there was an incident during the Memphis Grizzlies Los Angeles Lakers game. Dylan Brooks and Shannon Sharp started to trash talk. Dylan Brooks said Shannon Sharp, as a fan, shouldn't be allowed to stay in the arena after halftime. I think he called him a blogger or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play this, see if it'll work. Of course, I gotta refresh my page, man. Apologize for the technical difficulties, guys.
You are Gucci.
I know you said earlier you didn't want to talk about what Shannon said, but there was a report that he said he started to talk with you, saying that you're too small to guard LeBron, and then you swore back at him. Is that what happened? Or what
No, I
was
told him he missed the shot. That's all.
You think it's appropriate for a fan to kind of go back and forth with you guys like that?
A regular pedestrian like him, no. He shouldn't have never came back in the game. But it's LA.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks. He said pedestrian.
I think eventually Ja's dad got involved too. They were pushing each other back and forth. But like I was saying when you walked away, Drew, is what I like about it was, and I'll try to find that while we discuss this, but Uncle Shay's apology, man. He apologized to Dylan, apologized to Ja, apologized to both organizations, apologized to LeBron, his stylist, FS1, his kids, his wife, and you just like, man, I think what really stood out to me about the apology was like nobody's perfect, man. Everybody's working and striving to it, man. He said, I messed up. And, I lost my cool and I should have, controlled my emotions a little bit better. And I just like the fact that he owned up to it instead of skirting around it. So.
You know what I think it is? He had quick memory of how much Skip Bayless fucked up with Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
Let me go and make sure this is clean. ASAP. I mean, that probably helped him in his
Oh yeah,
decision.
of course.
But-
I'm sure he probably reflected on that and was like, man, I
But I
can't
agree.
go down on this.
He did the
Interesting.
right thing, but
Interesting fact that I heard about the situation from JJ Redick's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He suspected, I think this was obviously a joke, but he suspected that Shay wasn't kicked out of the game because of how awesome his cardigan was. Apparently the cardigan is retail $3,100, but since the incident is now selling in some stores for $5,800. So Shay making these garments hot out here.
a big ass cardigan.
I would not pay 31 or 50, whatever 100 for no damn sweater bag. But okay.
I'm wondering how he fit into it because JJ Redick also disclosed that he couldn't find a size larger than extra large, and we know that Shannon Sharp is way bigger than an extra large, so they're wondering where he got it from. Internet is petty, bro. This shit's so funny.
Yes, they are, man. Yes, they are. And with that said, we appreciate y'all tuning in this week. Check us out for some more podding next week. Subscribe below. Subscribe below.
Like,
man.
comment, subscribe. You see the shit.
After Shay. What else?
It might be burning. We know Drew's. Hey, we got a peanut sponsor next week. Someone might be salty.
Brought to you by the Cold Blue Mountains. Core.